Hi, hello. Oh my god, it's snowing! It's actually insane because usually I'm in Australia and it's actually like really hot by this time of year, but I'm currently living in Sweden and did you see that ball that just rolled past? That was the most Christmassy ball I think I've ever seen. Oh, but yeah, I'm living in Sweden at the moment. It's actually been snowing recently. So yeah, first time I've experienced Christmas snow. I've been to the snow before, but it's always been like in August. So yeah. Anyway, what I want to do today is I want to work on the gimmick level once again. Okay, apparently GD doesn't want me to work on the gimmick level. Oh well. In the last episode, we worked on this part a little bit, but the main bulk of the work came over here with the spider jewel right here. Yeah, still very consistent. I'm very happy about it. All right, cool. So today I want to do a little bit of decoration with this part, but I think where I might want to start is this part over here. Yes, we built this a couple episodes ago, and I kind of said that I wanted to finish it off, but kind of neglected it, I'm not going to lie. So that's what I want to do in today's episode. I want to try and finish this off, and I have a couple ideas for what I could do. Definitely needs to be finished off. It's pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with it so far, but I reckon it needs stuff like, you know, some more things going in the background, a couple darker bits perhaps. I'm not sure. So I guess let's just get started with this then. All right, so the first thing I did with this part is try to connect the pillars with the ground a little bit more because I felt like they were kind of slapped in there and they didn't really feel integrated with everything in a way, you know? So I put these slopes down here and I fiddled with the colors for a while to try and get it looking nice, but eventually I just settled on a solid orange color here with a little bit of corner glow added on top. And I really think this helps support the structures in a way, and I don't know, I just feel like it adds a lot to the decoration. I really am enjoying adding small little details like this. I don't know, I really like it. Then it was time to enhance the ground spikes themselves a little bit more, which I did with these little orange bits out the back. I almost went with these animated ones from the orb tab here, but I realized I already used those in the robot part just before, and I didn't really want to repeat that much decoration, you know? So I settled on these things with some orange blending, and I stacked them a little bit just to give it a little bit more depth to it in a way, right? But then I figured I needed to add a little bit more blue in here just to try and balance it out a bit more, you know? So I added some of these little spikes in the ground spikes that are solid light blue, and I feel like that works really nicely. Just give them a little bit of height variation, and I feel like they add so much to the ground spikes. All right, so I've gone ahead and added in a bunch more blue spikes, and of course applied the rest of this like ground spike design to the rest of the level as well. But there's one last little thing that I'm having issues with, and that's this. For this middle bit, what I can do is select these and kind of half space them over like that. But these sections in here are going to be a little bit more difficult, I think. Oh, there are these. Oh, that'll help heaps, actually. Yeah, that works really well, actually. Cool. All right, that was easy, actually. Okay, so I promise I will focus on air deco in just a second, but there's just one more little detail I want to add to the floor. That being some rotating objects coming out of it. This is something I kind of discovered is really cool with solar, and ever since I haven't been able to stop myself. So let's put some like maybe hexagons here. I could scale them up a little bit, and that can help fill in a few spaces that are just kind of like empty. And what I want to do for those as well is edit special, give them a custom rotation of like 30. Yeah, you can see it just adds something to it. I don't know. There's just something about putting rotating objects in ground spikes. I highly recommend doing it. I don't know. Okay, I think our ground spikes are definitely done. I think they are more than done, in fact. All right, so now in terms of air deco, first of all, let's just start off with a basic portal design, I think. Tempted to use like some of these. I never really use these, but I kind of like them. Have them on like 7. Oh my god, that's black blending. Might be a bit much though. What I could do, which is something that I saw a video on it. I can't remember who made the video, but what you can do is instead of making your blacks completely black, you can make them like slightly brighter and just make them like a dark color of whatever color you're using in the part. So instead of it being black, it's a slight orange. It's barely noticeable, but it just makes it like blend into the level a lot nicer, right? I could bring in the hexagon again. Yeah, I may as well do the hexagon. That could work. And just have a smaller one, and this can be like the blue. I think that's kind of neat. Yeah, it's like barely even noticeable, but you can kind of see the blue in there. I don't know. I think that's decent. All right, I got all of the portal design in, and it's definitely interesting. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it, but I'm gonna keep it and just run with it, see how we go. Now, in terms of other air deco, I could come up with another saw blade design. I don't know if I want to do that, like a smaller saw blade design. Yeah, I don't really think we need a saw blade design. I don't really want to do one particularly. What I could do, though, is some arrows, and I kind of want to do that. These things are kind of neat for arrows. I don't know. Yeah, I'll do this as kind of like an arrow design, and then I can give these the pulsing groups as well, maybe. Whoa, yeah, that's sick, dude. Dude, I'm actually really happy with these arrows. I didn't think they'd turn out great, but they did. I don't know if I'm gonna go full out custom background, but we definitely need at least something coming in like this, or some sort of like pillar design like this, something like that, right? But I suck at custom backgrounds, so I don't know what to do. I could probably take advantage of these type structures here and kind of try and do something similar. So what I'm thinking is maybe using these things here and then kind of building the spike structure out of these, and then I can kind of copy paste them like that and have them go up like this, right? And kind of have these come up from the ground and move in the background. I think that could be quite neat, actually. I think that would be awesome. And I'm just going to start building some kind of structures out of these. So I can have one go up like this, and then one coming down from the roof as well. Okay, so first of all, I want to see what this looks like without any movements. Oh, I forgot to layer them behind everything. Whoops. It looks okay, but now if I go ahead and select all of this here, add it to the next free group, which is 98, currently 98, and then what I can do is go, all right, I think that's pretty good for a background movement. I think that works decently well. It might be a little bit too in your face though, which I'm a little bit worried about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, actually, these are already all in a group, half opacity or something, just so that they're like still there, but they're not as like, you know? Yeah, that's a lot nicer, dude. I like that. I much prefer that. All right, awesome. All right. And once I had that in place, I decided to give it a bit of a transition in by having them bounce into the screen like this. And I actually really liked how this bounciness looked. So I went ahead and added a couple bounce movements whenever the background pulses, just to kind of give it that little bit more energy, you know? And I really liked it. It actually makes it look so much less static. Okay, now one last thing that I might try and do in this part, which might be a little bit ambitious, I'm not sure, but I want to try to go with a hue change. Now I've been really working on trying to get my colors to work better for hue changes, because in the past I just kind of add more and more colors and it would be a massive pain for doing a hue change, and that kind of stopped me from doing them. So yeah, you could definitely tell that in my later works I used a lot of copy colors and a lot of stuff like that, but with this, yeah, I didn't do that at all. So it was a massive pain of just like finding different colors that hadn't been adjusted yet and adjusting them. And I'm sure there's still some like random blue in there, but you know what, it's fine. It looks good, so I'm fine with it. All right, I've gone ahead and adjusted all the colors, and I think that's looking pretty decent. That's the blue, and then that's the green. Yeah, okay. Let's see what that looks like in normal mode, whether it looks goofy as hell or not. Yeah, I think the color adjusts pretty nicely. Yeah, I'm happy with that. All right, awesome. Yeah, I'm honestly really happy with how this has turned out. Yeah, I think this part's so much cooler now. And yeah, I think I'm gonna leave this part how it is. Let's do a showcase of that part only real quick. Nice. Okay, cool. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to move on to this spider part here. Yep, I want to try and decorate this in today's video as well. Finishing this off took me about an hour, and I'm guessing this is going to take me a few, not going to lie. All right, so I'm going to speed through the first bit of this part because it was basically just selecting the colors. I wanted to go with a bit of a pink and blue color scheme, kind of flipping between them a little bit. And so I set up some background changes that kind of flip between them, and then I added some pulses in between just to give it that little bit more intensity, you know? And I think these background pulses turned out pretty well, and this would be kind of the basis for the rest of the colors in the part. Remember how I said I like to use copy color now? Oh yeah, we're using copy color, baby. I made the ground basically just the background, but a lot darker, and I made the object color the background, but a lot brighter and a lot less saturated. And this made everything blend together pretty nicely to set me up for the block design. And oh boy, you'd think with just square structures, the block design wouldn't be very hard, but oh my god, I was wrong in thinking that. I started off with these kind of side bits here. I wanted them to be black because I don't know, I wanted a bit of contrast with it. And then from there, I filled in the inside of the block with a bunch of these pixel blocks here, and I made them go down, and I wanted to make them pulse from the top to the bottom. But I thought the black bits on the side looked a little bit weird here, so I experimented with a couple different things, but I ultimately just decided to scrap that design. But I wanted to keep the pulsing pixel blocks because that was like the main thing that I thought of for the decoration for that part, and I still think that could have turned out quite well. So I tried using these like rock objects over the top, and like maybe I could have made it work, but I don't know, it looks a little bit weird. I wasn't super happy with it, so I went complete try-hard mode. I just shut up and just tried to design something cool. And eventually, on my third attempt, I came up with something that I was decently happy with. Alright, it took a hell of a lot of brain power to come up with this design, I won't lie. But here it is. Here's the design. Basically, we have these outside blocks here. What I want to happen is every time you land on the block, it's going to pulse downwards, so you can kind of see how it pew, like that. I want that to happen every time you hit the block, so I'll have to have some spawn triggers that spawn this pulse, which is, yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a pain, but it's fine, it's fine. And I could even, if I wanted to, like, go ahead and put a couple more of these things around. That honestly, okay, I kind of like that better, I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, so I guess it's time to work out how the triggers are going to work. I'm definitely going to reuse groups, so how many are on the screen one time? Let me hop into NoClip real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I don't know where my other spider went, but oh well. Oh wait, he got stuck! Like, I could time it so it's about there, so that's about when you land on the platform, and let's see how good that looks. I honestly think that's fine. Just approximating where you land on the platform, because otherwise I'm going to have to put a spawn trigger between each of these, which is going to use a hell of a lot of groups and just be a bit of a pain. All right, so it's time to apply that design to the rest. Yeah. Alright, so I've gone ahead and put in the first 5 of these bottom ones here, and basically the way I was doing that was just by copy pasting it with the triggers and then using build helper, which essentially gives them new groups. And while I could delete these for like optimization purposes, I'm not going to yet because I still have more copy pasting to do with these. Alright, I've got one side in, let's see what it looks like. That's pretty good, that's pretty good. Now I gotta do all of that, but again, for the top half. Oh my god, alright, I got them all in place now. Man, that took a while. It's looking pretty cool though, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty happy with how this thing is turning out. I like how everything is lighting up like as you touch it, you know? Makes all the spider clicks feel that much more satisfying, you know, which is pretty cool. These are all the triggers for it. I think it's about time we start working on like some more decoration other than just this. I reckon we definitely need some pillars in the background that maybe like slightly slowly move up and slowly move down or something. I don't know. I could do like these things maybe, and then have them kind of moving across in the background. That could be cool if done properly and not scaled up to 3.31 times. I'll just scale it up to 2 times and then layer that on B4. I feel like that could work, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of give this a new group of 61. Oh lord. And then move 161 by like negative 50 across 5 seconds or something. Like really, really slow movement. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Something like that, right? Alright, cool. I actually really like that. Alright, awesome. Now some jump orb deco. We all love jump orb deco. I actually really like jump orb deco. Doing jump orb deco, there's something about it, dude. There's just something about it. I am going to do maybe this. Make this like black even. And then I'll make these the object blending color, maybe even? Almost. This is a little bit jarring, but nothing is a little bit boring. So what I might do is, if I get like this, and then just scale that down to like that, but then give that 7, or 9 rather, or even invert that so that this is the object blending, like that. I'm pretty satisfied with that, yeah. It needs something darker though. It needs something darker. Maybe this should be a darker non-blending color. So yeah, I'll do that. But then as one last little detail, some glow. Yeah, that's pretty decent. They're pretty small, so I might go ahead and select all of them, enable absolute scaling, and then just scale these up slightly, not down. They're still not like in your face or anything, but they're just a little bit more visible. All right, so this orb was a bit of a pain, but I basically shrunk this structure here, extended this one out, and now what I'm gonna do is go to wherever the invisible blocks are, right here, and then add in a couple that are like down there, maybe. It's not the most obvious thing in the world, but I think it works pretty well. I think the next step we should probably work out would be a spike design. Yeah. So I'm just gonna keep these as just normal spikes and then just kind of use them. Yeah, I think they work. I think that works. But yeah, anyway, the spikes are all in place now. All right, now it's just random little detail time. I started by adding these rotating objects kind of sticking out of the corners of the blocks. I made them black just to add a bit more contrast to the part because I felt like it was a bit too monochrome at the moment, but it stuck out a little bit too much. So what I did is I made another layer below and shifted it out slightly with the blending background color. And then from there, I decided to add some other random little details like these chains, these little cool looking objects, and these little pulsing objects here, just to help add a little bit more detail and decoration to it, you know? I don't know. Yeah, I think that looks quite neat. I think all of those details coming together is really, really cool. We should probably build this in a bit, shouldn't we? What I'm thinking is maybe what I could do is use, where are they? These type of bits here. And then if I make this kind of the same color that these are, and then just kind of copy paste this along, but I want this to pulse along with the player. I'll also go ahead and add the glow up the top of this here as well. Something like that I think is pretty good. All right. And then what I'll do is go to whatever layer this is on. 163, 164, 165. Okay, like that. And then what I'll do is have some pulse triggers here. Group, and then I'll do a fade out of like 0.3 or something. And then I don't know if I want it to pulse that bright, but kind of the same color as these, I guess. So, and then I can just kind of up, up. Yeah, kind of like that. I think that's cool. All right, now we're on to some of the final details. I decided to change the color of some of these block design pulses because sometimes it pulses purple when the part's a little bit more pink. And I don't know, it just kind of looks out of place to me a little bit, so I just adjusted the colors of some of the pulses. Then from there, I went ahead and made a design for these little floating blocks here, which I just basically copied the pulsing groups from the block design. And then the quote-unquote last little detail, that's the third time I said that in the recording, by the way, was to just do a couple object color pulses because, I don't know, I figured it would make it look a little bit more intense. And then from there, I thought I was done, but I've just had another goddamn idea. I've just had another idea. Grr, I hate it when I just have an idea, dude. All right, let's go to a new layer here. Layer 5, sure. And what I want to do is add some ground spikes in the foreground. I love the little tiny monsters so much. They're awesome. Hell yeah. All right, cool. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and call this part finally complete. No more like one last little thing. No more of that. I'm honestly really happy with how this part turned out. It is not what I thought it would be in the slightest when I like first made it, but I think it's really cool. I think it turned out really nice. And yeah, definitely a lot of work went into this. Pretty proud of that. And yeah, I guess let's go ahead and record the full showcase of the level so far. Nice, there it is. I am actually so incredibly proud of how this level's turning out. Yeah, this is my favorite series at the moment. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like I'm definitely getting better at doing decoration and stuff. I don't know, I'm really proud of this part. I'm really proud of this part as well. I'm really proud of all the parts in this level. This first part is like, not the most complex decorating wise, but I feel like it's very solid, you know? It feels very solid. I don't know, I really, really like it. Obviously, there are a couple things with, you know, like the transition in and out of this part, but I'll do something else for this ball. This is not gonna stay as this kind of gameplay. And I have a couple cool ideas for what I want to do for this, but we'll have to wait until the next episode until we do that. I might do this in the next episode. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end off this episode here. I really, really hope you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed making it. And as the snow comes down from the top, I want to say thank you so much to all the members, as always, especially Crazy, Karen, and Cool Guy. And yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you later.